start with some relaxing foam rolling on our upper backs. So thoracic area between the last rib and that upper area where your neck meets your shoulders. And we're going to talk about what's on tap for today. And first of all, welcome to everyone, whether you're here now or later. Welcome to camp. This is where we spend a lot of our weekends in the summer, and you can probably expect to see this scenery more in the future. So today is Happy Feet, and we're going to be working on relaxing muscles that help with relaxing the feet, reducing feet pain, and overall just reducing tension in that area. So what you're gonna learn today, what I'm going to talk about is different things we can focus on that are in the feet and not actually in the feet that will assist towards that goal of reducing that pain and tension that you may have in the feet. So we're going to start out in the calf muscle, so we'll be working between the knee and the ankle. And I have a picture to show you here of the area that we're going to start with. So turn your attention to the screen and I will share that with you. Okay, so you can see here, we're gonna start out picture on the left where you've got to see that almost a whole leg there. So the region that we're gonna be working on is in between the red dotted lines that I've drawn for you. What I really like about this picture and why I've chosen to share it with you is you can see all those muscles in the calf between the dotted lines, but you can see where they feed into the foot and attach, and that's true for the majority of the calf muscles. You can see there are a lot of different muscles there in the calf, but the majority of them actually travel into the foot and attach there, which is why we work on them, because when they're tight, they just pull on the attachments, which you can see are down into the foot. So releasing some of the belly of those calf muscles will help the foot feel less tight and sometimes less painful. So we're going to work on the back of the calf and this inner side of the calf with the foam roller to start with. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first off, we're going to, and remember the dotted line on the picture started just below the knee. So you don't want to go like right behind the knee. You want to start up just below that knee, and then we're going to work down to just above that bony area and your ankle. Lie on the ground with that foam roller perpendicular to your calf muscle. We'll start out with the left foot here. And what we're going to do is just place it almost all the way at your ankle. So you almost feel like you're kind of like on your Achilles area, and just twist that foot left and right. So what we're doing is working with gravity here, letting gravity kind of push your leg onto that foam roller, and you're compressing those calf muscles underneath of the foam roller as you twist that foot back and forth, left and right here. So what we'll do is kind of stepwise work our way up to that area just below the knee so we can get that whole back area of the calf. So maybe move the foam roller up just an inch and twist that foot left and right. And how you make it more intense, if that's what you're looking for, is just kind of placing your other foot on top of your calf, or on top, like to placing your right leg on top of your left leg. But chances are it's enough for you. Maybe if you want to take off the intensity, just kind of ever so gently lift that left leg so that the full weight of your leg is not on the foam roller. That can help if you're feeling like this is like an excruciating thing. Shouldn't be, maybe a little uncomfortable, not excruciating. So we're working in a good kind of hurt feeling for massaging these calf muscles. So move up just another inch or so and keep twisting that foot from left to right, pretending like your left foot is a windshield wiper. No windshield wipers needed here though today. It's a beautiful sunny day. Has been here for a while. So move up again. And again, if you're finding an area that's particularly tender that needs extra work, just hang out there. Do some deep breathing and focus on twisting back and forth on that one spot. All right, couple more deep breaths. Like I said, move all the way up to that area just below the back side of your knee. The reason that we don't go into that area that's directly behind the knee is just there's a lot of nerves and things that are pretty close to the surface there. So not only will it not really feel good to be mashing on that, but you're not getting into the muscle so much there as you are nerves and other things that aren't as helpful. So we're just kind of staying out of that area just below that. If you've already gotten up as far as you want to go on that leg, you can move down a little bit further towards the ankle again on that calf. Just twisting back and forth and loosening here. And spend a couple more seconds before we switch it to the right side. Deep breaths. And let's take it to the right side. So let's start on that right, just above the ankle area. So you feel like there's like a bony area in the back of that foot. You don't want to massage on that bony area, but just above that, because that's, you're still getting into calf muscles there. So twisting that right foot back and forth. I don't know if you know anybody who's ever had plantar fasciitis, or maybe you have had yourself. This is something that can be part of relieving tension due to that, because like you saw in that picture, all of those calf muscles feeding into the foot, well, they feed into what's called your plantar fascia in your foot as well and pull on that. So a lot of times part of helping with plantar fasciitis is working like we are now, up and down the calf muscle. Go ahead and move up if you haven't already, just a little bit more towards the knee. And getting these calf muscles to loosen up can make a big difference in the amount of pain people with plantar fasciitis are experiencing. So it's usually my go-to move if somebody comes into me, to my massage table with plantar fasciitis. I spend the majority of the time on their calf muscles. Move up again. So we're going to spend a few more seconds here on this right calf, and then we're going to, like I showed you in the picture, it's the calf muscles aren't just in the back of the calf, they're on the sides too. So I'm just going to show you how to get into a little bit deeper part of the calf with the foam roller. Also accessing, but when you see calf muscles, right, you usually see those two kind of bulgy on either side. That's what we think of when we think of calf muscles. That's your gastrocnemius. But the truth is there's a lot more, several more muscles underneath of that layer of those two big bulges that you think of on the back of the calf. So, and those, the ones underneath are actually the ones that are usually most responsible for the foot pain. So that's what we're going to get into. We're getting into a little bit now, but we're going to get into a little bit deeper with the next foam rolling move and with the next stretch. So we're going to work on the right calf. So you can see me here. I've got my left arm kind of just propped up on the chair, chilling out on my chair here. So what I'm going to do is place my right inside of my calf muscle on the foam roller and rolling up and down like this. So you've got your right big toe towards the mat, and you're just rolling in and out like this. So we're getting some of the same muscles that we just foam rolled lying on our backs, but we're actually, because we're working into the side, we're getting a little bit deeper. Like I talked about, some of those muscles underneath that big gastroc. And these muscles are big culprits, like I said, with sometimes foot tension. So just another way to get in, access a little deeper in the calf muscle here. You know, people were getting into the posterior tibialis muscle here, and anybody who's a runner may have experienced shin splints, or even if you're not a runner, right? Maybe you just had a long day of walking and got some shin splints. This is really good for that, really good for getting into that posterior tibialis area. So you're basically just bending your knee in towards your other knee and then straightening your leg out. And that is getting into those deeper calf muscles, accessing them from the side. So let's try that on the other side. So now you're going to take your right arm, prop it up on the chair, and work on that left calf. So now you're bringing that left knee in towards your chest and then straightening it out. Again, that left big toe is towards the mat, towards the ground. This can be a bit sensitive as well. If you need to kind of hold your leg up a little bit, like I said, nothing major, but if you need to hold it up a little bit off the foam roller, that's completely okay. If you find an area that's particularly tender, you can kind of rock back and forth on that one spot. Sometimes you can get knots develop in certain areas of the calf here, and you'll really feel like, wow, that's an area that needs attention. So you would just want to hang out there a little bit and try to give that area some help. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to stretch those deeper calf muscles that we just worked on. So if you've done Fit Camp with me, we've done the runner's stretch before. This is almost like that. I think I'm going to keep my pant leg up just so you can see what's happening better with my leg. So we've done the runner stretch where you're at the wall, you know, you've got your left leg back and straight. And that's a good calf stretch, don't get me wrong. But what we're going to do is bend that knee. So you're going to that regular stretch and then try to bend your knee a little bit. And what's going to happen in this position is you get those deeper calf muscles. You're going to feel it more from the middle of your shin, middle of your calf down to your ankle. So you're still getting that good calf stretch, but this bent knee position allows you to access those deeper muscles under the gastroc that are really big culprits in what's happening in the foot. So again, I said, this is the runner stretch from Fit Camp that we do. To modify it for what we're doing today, you want to take a step in and then bend that knee and feel the stretch a little different area. So you won't feel this in the muscles that go all the way up to the knee. You'll feel this more in the muscles that are in the middle of the calf and down further. Okay, and now we're going to stretch the right side. So take that right foot back and then bend that knee until you can feel that stretch happening in your mid to lower calf region. You're still trying to keep most of your heel on the ground, but it's okay if it comes off of a little bit, that right heel. What I care about most is that you have the sensation of stretch in that right calf, and that'll be the best position for you to get this deep calf muscle stretch. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just spend a little bit of time using the edge of the foam roller here on the bottom of our feet. And I do want to actually show you another picture. Okay, so we've got this foot here on the right-hand side. Couple things to pay attention to. As you can see, I put thumbs up all the way through the arch. So we're going to be pressing our thumbs stepwise from the bottom to the top of the arch there. And then I've got some lines across. And then last but not least, I'd like you to pay attention to the water pump on the toe. We're going to be making like a water pump kind of action with our toe. So I thought that picture might help you keep that image in your mind. But right now, look at the lines on the feet. We're going to be working from the ball of the foot to the heel in that direction with the edge of the foam roller. So you're going to be taking this foam roller and just kind of moving it from the ball of your foot to the heel of your foot. Oh, we have a guest appearance. Yay. Puppy. She wants to help. She wants you to have happy feet too. So it works best if you can place the edge of the foam roller against a wall, something that's not going to move, because what you're doing is going to be pressing the edge of your foam roller in those lines that you saw in the picture. You're going to be stepping and pressing, just traveling in that area between the ball of your foot and the heel of your foot. And here again, as always, if you find an area that feels particularly like it needs some work, just hang out. And really you can kind of move your foot back and forth on that spot without advancing forward or back. You may be moving left to right. But if not, nothing's really calling out to you. Let's just do a general up and down, traveling between the heel and the ball of your foot on those lines. Good. So now we're working, our focus has shifted from the calf muscles to more of the smaller muscles that are in the feet. And there are so many layers of muscles in the feet, more than I could care to go over right now, but I would love to go over them. But what we're talking about right now is just working through those layers of small muscles that can get really tight in the bottom of your feet. And let's switch sides. So now we're going to go your other foot, working in the same way. So edge of that foam roller is digging into the lines that I drew, the dotted lines on that picture of that foot. Most of the footwork we're doing today, and for the rest of the time we will be on just on the feet. Most of it's focused on the bottom of the feet because that is the most common area for foot pain. Several people do end up having pain on top of their feet, but we're going with what most people experience is pain and tension in the bottom of their feet. So we're working on that today. But the next thing I will show you is a little stretch that's going to help you with foot pain on the top of your feet. Not to leave that out. Okay, so for the rest of the time, we're going to be actually like working on our feet with our hands. So I'm going to be sitting in the chair to do that. And I might move my chair a little closer to you so you can even see better. If you prefer to sit on your mat, if that's comfortable, that's fine. But what we're going to be doing is we want to have access to our feet. So be able to touch them easily. If that feels better in a chair, sit in a chair, mat's fine. So like I said, top of the feet, what we're going to do is place your hand. So we're working on the left foot first. So place your right hand, the palm of your hand on top of your right toes, And you just want to bend your toes over like you're trying to fold them onto the bottom of your feet. And pull. So you're not just bending, but you're also kind of pulling your whole ankle. And what that does is that is going to stretch a lot of those muscles on the top of your foot. So, right, you're feeling that. And anytime you're having top of the foot pain and tension, this is a good move for you to do. Right. Couple deep breaths. Now we're going to do just the opposite. So this works better. We're working on our left foot still. If you take your left hand, place the palm of your hand on the bottom of your feet. And now we're just pulling the toes in the other direction. So this is going to stretch that whole fascia, that whole small muscle area that we were just massaging into with the edge of the foam roller. If you feel like you need a little bit more assistance, like you wish you could pull a little harder, just place your other hand there on top, your right hand on top of your left hand, and you'll immediately feel a little bit more pull through the bottom of that left foot. So everything we're doing today, like I said, obviously for foot pain and tension, but real life scenarios where you would use it. So in my fit camp, when we're doing that kind of stuff and we're jumping a lot and a lot of explosive movements, that might tend to get your calves or your feet fired up a little bit. Even after a long day of walking, especially if you ended up walking and maybe not the shoes you'd planned on having a long walk in, and that can really cause some foot discomfort. Everything that we're doing today is really helpful for that. So things to think about. Let's stretch out the right foot in the same way we just did the left foot. So you're going to cross your right foot over into a position where you can hold on to it, and you're going to take your left hand, place the palm of your hand on top of the toes of your right foot, and pull those toes like you're trying to fold them over underneath your foot. And this is giving us that nice stretch on the top of your foot. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. Remember to keep breathing through this. Relax your head, your neck, your shoulders. Now we're going to do the opposite. So you're taking the palm of your right hand, placing it on the bottom side of your toes, and really trying to bend your toes backwards and pull so you get that nice stretch through your arch, through your fascia, the bottom of your foot. Adding another hand if you feel like you want some more pull to the bottom of the foot. So what we're going to focus on next, we're going to hang out here in this stretch for a few more seconds, but what we'll focus on next is the water pump and the thumbs up. Remember that from the picture I showed you a few minutes ago. So this is going to be a nice way to work into the arch of the foot, very common area for tension. So let's just begin with this right foot that you already have in your hand. What you're going to do is take that left hand and grab onto your toe. This is your water pump, right? What would you do with the water pump? You're cranking it up and down. So you're going to grab that toe and kind of crank it down and back and forth. So you're cranking it down, bending it down towards the bottom of your foot, and then you're bending it backwards. So that's the movement we got going on with the left hand. This is a passive release technique. So we're going to take your right thumb and you're going to move up and down your arch. The picture, remember, had those thumbs on them. So those spots in your arch. So you're going to hang out in one area and take a few cranks on your water pump, AKA toe, back and forth. And then you'll move down just a fraction of an inch. Move down the arch towards your heel. So a few more cranks. And this needs gentle, right? We're not actually cranking. That's kind of a harsh word. So we're just gently moving that toe forward and back through its range of motion. And you can feel that muscle underneath your thumb of your right finger, or your right hand, moving. So move down just another inch or so. And chances are you're probably going to find an area in the arch of your foot here that's maybe sensitive and you want to hang out there. Work into that area. So that muscle that you feel moving underneath your right thumb, your flexor hallucis longus. I love a lot of the names of the muscles in the feet because they have very fancy names like that. It's fun names to say. They're responsible for flexing your big toe. So it's responsible for your toe moving down towards your bottom of your foot. Responsible for pushing off every step you take. So it gets really tight sometimes. I have a lot of work to do. Okay, so now we're going to do that on the other foot. So let's take that left foot, get that into position. Take your right hand to grab onto that big toe of your left foot. And we're doing the gentle water pump here with that right toe. Sorry, your right hand on your left toe. And now you're going to take that left hand and place the thumb and the arch on that fancy muscle. All right, we're going to go up and down a few times with that left toe, back and forth. And then once you've gone back and forth a few times, move that left thumb a little bit further down the arch. So we've got one final move here. And we're going to be just giving the foot a general nice stretch. Range of motion movement here. But let's take a few more seconds on this arch here with your left thumb pressing in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grab the toes of the left foot with the right hand, and we're just going to take those toes and make a big of a circle as you can with the foot. So you can either do this, or if it's comfortable for you, I would recommend trying to feed your fingers in between your toes, like you're trying to hold hands with your toe, with your foot, and then doing that circle. If that's comfortable for you, what you're going to feel there is a nice like inner toe stretch, like between your toes. There's actually a lot of muscles there too that can get tight, tiny little muscles in between your toes. And moving your toe, your whole foot in this circular direction while you've got your fingers in between your toes can really loosen things up. Things nice and stretched out there. Okay. Now we're going to try that on the other side. Right foot now, either grabbing all of your toes at once, or if it's comfortable, sticking your fingers in between your toes and getting that nice circular motion going with your whole foot. Good. Okay. All right. And that's some happy feet. I hope your feet are happy. Thank you for joining me today. And I will see you next time our A next session will be on Monday at 8 a.m.